What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very quick update about the markets. Just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. Deposit $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $2,000 and you'll get 30. So for the markets, I just wanted to say that right now, unfortunately, we did not see the market consolidate or bounce like I was expecting. We actually got this big rug pull so far. And at this point, we're not looking too good. We need to see SPY reclaim 608 to see some hope for this to try to rebound by the end of the day. If we don't end up reclaiming 608, then there's going to be a risk of us returning to 605 and back down to like the low 600s, like 602. So be careful, guys. We are looking more bearish for the time being, but what matters to me is going to be close. Can we see SPY close back above 608 and get some kind of rebound by the end of the day? The market makers are very tricky, especially with lots of options expiring. So please be very mindful of that. But for the time being, the 4 hour is looking quite weak right now. This does typically suggest there might be a bit more downside coming. Yes, this could last a couple of hours. Yes, the market is looking weak right now, but because of the fact that we are below 608, we are in a very concerning position, and we have to reclaim it for us to try to get some kind of bounce. I want to mention that the PMI data came out. Everything was pretty much almost everything was below expectations. Our S&P Global Composite PMI was showing some weakness. So is our services sector. So not the best of news, at least for the way in which this sector is looking. And we want to see if we could reclaim some key support. On the 4 hour, we have our 50 EMA around 606.95. That's the first support we want to reclaim. Then 608. If we can't, there's going to be a risk of us continuing to fall to 605. I also want to mention that looking at how this daily candlestick is looking, it's not looking too good right now. This would suggest even more downside to 605 or below if we close around here. So yeah, I mean, things have flipped, unfortunately. I was hoping we'd get a bounce. At this point, I'm trying to say that we have to wait for close, okay? That's going to be very important. If we could try to base around this area and we get back above 608, we will bounce. So wait and see if we could get that bounce. I still have hope for it, but we'll see just to be safe. And if we don't get that good close, things are not going to be looking too good. On the QQQ, the same thing is going on. We've dumped quite a bit, but we have 533 as the main support. We have not lost that yet. Keep in mind, SPY and the QQQ are only down 0.6%. It's not that crazy. And we have to see if these supports can end up holding. So watch 533. And if you end up dumping and we end up losing this, we could be dipping all the way down to about 530 flat. So watch and see if 533 could hold. If it holds, there's going to be hope for a rebound. I think it's very important for us to try to hold this and get back above 535 on the QQQ. Otherwise, this could be dipping even more. So for now, although we do look a little bit more bearish, we'll see if 533 holds. That's going to be a very key level. Same thing with the Russell 2000. We got this rejection right here. We're going to be watching to see, can we get back above 223.5? If we reclaim that, I think we just return in this range. It's been range bound like this. It's not doing too bad. Notice the last couple of weeks, we came down to like 220, bounced to 230, back and forth like 3 times. That's all we're essentially doing. So just keep that in mind. For ES, we're on a bit of a downtrend here. We're kind of rejecting. So we want to see if this can reclaim like 21,020. If not, this is going to be at risk of dipping lower. So we're looking for a retest of about 6,080. So we'll have to see if we could get back all the way above that very key level. We might be dipping to about 6,080, and then we'll see if we bounce above 6122. So watch that very closely. It's possible it dips a little bit more, but I do think that this might try to bounce if we could try to hold that key support at 6,080. So watch that very closely. Might tip a little bit more. If that does not hold, we're going to be dumping all the way down towards this trend line right here around the low 6,000s. So there is a risk of us dipping lower, but we'll see if support holds at 6,080. On NQ, this was trying to bounce. I was hoping this would try to go higher, but we actually got a rejection off this resistance. So now it's a fight for 22,000. We got to hold this. If we don't, we're going to be likely dumping even lower, all the way down to like 21,800. So watch 22,000. If that does not hold, there's going to be a risk of downside. Bitcoin pumped about 100,000 or a little bit under that before it rejected. So we're looking for support at 96,900. Can we hold that or not? I'll be watching that closely. For Nvidia had resistance at 140. We're still consolidating. We do have earnings next week, so it could still run more. But for now, we're just in a consolidation phase between 138 and 140. It's not really doing a whole lot. Tesla's dipping like we predicted. I did mention to all it might dip a little bit, so this is something I did get correct. We did not have the best of news because of the fact that the news is saying that they have this big recall. Um, we need to try to reclaim 348. If not, Tesla's going to be at risk of dipping to about the mid 340s and eventually 340 flat. For Apple, we're completely flat right here. We have this resistance to watch for at 246.5 and support at 243, so we're stuck in the middle. So we'll give this some time to develop. For coin is looking in the middle. We did push very nicely to about 270, but we're not holding it so far. So if we get a rejection, we could be returning to about 252. Amazon, like I said, we have this trend line of resistance. We just keep on rejecting off of this. So our main support now is going to be down here at this we have 218 and 215 as supports. We'll see if those hold. For now, Amazon's looking a bit lackluster. Meta was trying to bounce. I said we have to reclaim 608 to turn bullish. We were trying to bounce and then we rejected. So watch 692, the low from yesterday. If that does not hold, we will be dumping to about 685. It's still at risk of dipping a bit lower. Microsoft pumped got a big rug pull. I think we had some negative news that came out. We're watching support at 413 and resistance at 414. If we end up losing 413, I'm looking for a dip to this imbalance at 410. If we manage to reclaim 415ish, we could try to bounce, but it is looking a bit more bearish. Google is kind of stuck in the middle. It's in a range right now. We have resistance to watch for at 189, and our main support's at 183. We're kind of stuck in the middle, so give this some time. And that's pretty much it for now. So that's what I'm essentially seeing. So with that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. As far as the market's going, we have to see if SPY can reclaim 608. If it does, this could try to rebound. There are lots of shorts expiring today, so we'll see if that ends up being the case. If we can't reclaim 608, we're going to be at risk of touching 605. So keep that in mind. There's a little bit of weakness now, but we're going to be watching to see if we could bounce very close to this level, and we'll see how it ends up going. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Have a good rest of your day. I'll be back with another update very, very soon. So we'll see if these levels end up holding. And then one last thing, the daily charts of SPY and the QQQ are not looking too good. We're starting to show weakness if we get a close around here. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we see some buyers return and we try to get back above our key levels to really fix these daily charts. So keep that in mind. We also have Nvidia's earnings next week that could affect the way this market moves, not to mention other catalysts. So we'll see how it goes. I also want to mention that this is just a theory, not a guarantee. Premiums for calls are getting very, very cheap, at least for next week. So that's going to be very, very important. So with that being said, guys, I thank you for listening. Please have a good rest of your day. I'll be back very, very soon, and peace out.